Rocketboom has travelled to many exotic places, but I'm excited to say that today I'm in New Jersey. You know, I almost feel like wearing a t-shirt, and I'm here with Gary, and we're at the Wine Library, and we are here tasting wine. Wine Library TV has just rocketed, I like your rocket behind there, Gary, just rocketed off the face of the planet. We're delighted to have you here on Rocketboom, and we're going to spend very quick, intense 3 or 4 minutes together, and I just want to hear about you, Gary. How on earth did you decide that going and eating mud was a good idea?
Well, let me start from the beginning. You know, I was born in Russia, and Belarus actually, and came to this country in the late 70s, and my dad got a job as a stock boy in New Jersey while we lived in Queens, and that's how our family got into the liquor business. He became manager and then had a store, and being part of an immigrant family, I had to get involved in the family business when I was 14, 15. Hated it. He made me go to work. I cried the whole 40-minute ride to work because I knew I was making ice for $2 an hour, but I did it because I had no choice. If you ever saw my dad, scary dude. So, you know, the bottom line was that, you know, I had to try to figure out my niche within this store because I was here. And, you know, playing lotto tickets only lasted me so long. I'd lose my money, and I didn't want to make ice. And beer and liquor didn't catch me. That wine collecting. The collecting was definitely the thing that tied me in. The fact that people collected wine, I very much understood that from my comic books and rare toys and baseball cards. And that was the first initial hook. And then the hook from there, really 6 months later, was I want to build the greatest wine store in the world. Got really into wine, got into the family business, changed it dramatically, you know, grew it dramatically, went from 5 employees to 100 employees, launched WineLibrary.com, the retail site, in 1997. And was on my way and had a great family business, made money, everything was great, everybody was happy, and turned 30 years old and freaked the hell out. Yeah, so I was like, I've got something else, I need something else, and had a conversation with my head developer, Eric Kastner, who is a major backbone of what Wine Library TV is today, about just the web, and we were going to go in a different direction. We started fooling around doing different things. I felt I had something to share, and the fact that wine is completely broken in this country. I definitely thought that Americans were getting out of hand. Our cars were big, you know, everything's big, and I understand. I love the triple, quadruple Big Mac as much as anybody. However, fundamentally, the wines were starting to taste like sugar water. I said, it is time for me, a nice Jersey boy, to set the wine industry straight. And so in February of 2006, I started taping me in front of a camera, improv, 3 wines, and that was the beginning of Wine Library TV.
Tell the people, why is wine great?
Wine is great to me fundamentally, and I'm going to get a little sappy, so let's bring out the tissues, is I feel that it brings people together. I love the fact that wine, you know, if people get into wine, so a lot of people on Facebook have been friending me up and all these other things, and I love when they tell me, like, oh, we started, you know, I always tell them, start a wine tasting group. And these, like, college kids are sending me videos and pictures of, instead of doing, like, beer, you know, keg stands or beer pong, they're actually having wine tasting parties, and they're bringing different people together. It's, you know, a kid emailed me the other day, he said, dude, I'm 22 years old, and because of Wine Library TV, I actually have a relationship with my dad now. We have something in common. That's some straight tear shit.
Okay, that's where the Kleenex comes out.
That's right.
Why did you ask Conan O'Brien and Ellen DeGeneres to take off their sock and suck it and eat dirt and lick stones and chew bacon? What is that?
On a global level, I like laughing with myself inside of my head. And so I said this would be a great thing to have forever. Hey, I made Conan suck his own sock.
Right,
but on a serious level, when I was 17 to 21, I wasn't really allowed to drink wine because my parents were good parents that way. But I read all these tasting notes, you know, dirt, mushrooms, blackberries, boysenberry, all the, you know, pomegranate. And I was like, well, wait a minute. I'm about this. I'm going to be the greatest wine expert in the world. It didn't work out, but I thought I was going to be when I was 17. I wanted to be a very studious, serious wine connoisseur. And so what happened was I figured, let me go and start eating those products, including like wet rock. Like I would put a rock in the water and lick, eating dirt. Eating grass. I consumed more grass than 90% of the lawnmowers in New Jersey from 1994 to 1998. So I wanted to build my palate. So, you know, how do you know what grass tastes like if you haven't actually had it? And sweaty sock, as you might know, in French Burgundy is a very common characteristic.
But do you really learn something from putting that in your mouth?
On a serious, complicated scientific level, I have no idea. On the flip side, I know that when I suck my sweaty sock, I now know exactly what that tastes like. And so if I taste it in wine, I am ready, like bone marrow or cat food, I am ready to dictate and understand that taste.
Fantastic. You know, maybe one day we'll walk into restaurants and you'll be able to have sweaty sock with your
Hey, people pay $4 a bottle for water, so don't laugh.
Gary, it's been
Thank
such
you
a pleasure.
so much.
Thank
This is a
you.
huge honor. I just want to say that.
Wine Library TV, people.
.com. I just felt like saying it.
WineLibraryTV.com.
That's like my move. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Gary. It was great.